What is going on, lunatics? Yesterday I told you that we'd probably test about 9,000, right? And then the pump started. The market kind of went crazy, and I told you the maximum that we'd probably pump to was about 9. Lo and behold, it's exactly what we did. Now, it's not financial advice, but look, if you like the content, hit subscribe, hit like, hit the bell to be notified of future content. Make sure that you leave a comment letting people know that you are part of the Lunatic Army, and make sure, by the way, that you hit the like button as well. Blah, 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 blah. Let's get into it right now. Check this out right now. Remember what we said was that we had a bunch of lines over here, and I said, $9,000 is probably going to be the max. Where guess exactly where we rejected off of, right at that $9,000 line, because I told you, like, I'm not telling you, but the chart is telling me that that's where we're going to experience the most rejection, because that's the trade volume, that's the test line right in that region. And what happened, we got summarily rejected off of it. Now, if I'm making a guesstimation, and I would want to start with maybe this right here instead of a longer bounce, but let's just say right here is where the kind of breakout started to happen. So the question is, we're now at 0.5% on the fib retracement, so I'm going to expect maybe an 86 or an 85, which, by the way, is going to be good. And let me remove this, because if we're considering 85.20, then maybe, just maybe, this 50 crossing over right here, we call it about 85.50. Maybe we'll bounce off of this support channel and at the top of the support channel and start moving on to a new level. Now we're a little bit gray right here. This is the 1 hour, by the way. If we go to the 4 hour, you can see right here, we of course had this little rejection area that we knew was coming. 200 SMA is what we're testing on the 4 hour, which is a great number to hit. That to be used as support would lead, by the way, to a potential move through consolidation up to, and not exactly to dropping that zero, but getting very, very close to it. I think we would need a support line somewhere in that 95, 96 range before that were to happen. But positive things are happening, and you might be asking yourself, well, why are these positive things happening right now? And listen, here's what happened. Yesterday, XRP in the United States got told that they were not a security for retail. Now, they are a security contract for businesses, and $750 million in XRP was sold or in pre-sale from Ripple was sold to businesses. And of course, it was Ripple at the time, not XRP. So that was kind of the issue. But XRP, it was clarified, was not a security. So what did that do? That let all blockchains know that they in of themselves, because they are a blockchain and a token or a coin, does not make them a security. That's clarification that the market absolutely needed. So what's happening right now is you're seeing the money start to trickle back into places. And by the way, it should be noted that when we were talking yesterday in our video, I did say that we have this topping right here. We have this ascending wedge. We have an ascending wedge that's looking to break out. And did I call it? Of course I called it. Because this chart, one thing that the Lunc chart is highly predictable, and you don't see things like this happening too much. It is very predictable. So I do think, however, that as you can see right here, and if you remember this one as well, that we're going to have this kind of trend line right here. And then it wicks up here and it gets very, very close to exactly what we're talking about. So, it's very predictable right now. So I think this comes back down, tests probably breaks the 50 and the 75 on the 4 hour, and then probably comes back up for another retest at a lower level, probably 13 cents. But hey, money on the table to be made, especially if you went long on Lunc yesterday on MEXC futures trading, which if you haven't, in the description down below. Now, moving on, there's no real governance proposals of note that seem to have any kind of big sway at this point. So reduce staking undelegation period to 14 days. I don't really have an opinion on that. So, you guys can go vote if you want to. 87.52 overall, up 157% in volume. Overseas markets. By the way, if you were following me, Conflux was another one that I said was going to have a nice pump, and it had a magnificent pump last night. Market cap up to 509 million USTC, up to 128 million, with a nice increase in the daily volume. And that's pretty much it. It was a nice little run. It's not going to sustain itself, but it could be that because of this positive news that we're creating a nice little floor, and that the floor is going to end up leading to another big sort of bounce here So let's hope that 86 here kind of holds in the next few hours and that we get that nice big reversal and continue to move towards that upside and break down some of this resistance that's right here. We got a long way to go for price exploration. There's going to be a fight every single step of the way. So the power of the community will come into play. The local top here is probably going to be right there at 1135. So remember that and don't over leverage yourself for something that just may not happen. I don't think there's possible right now to get a 2x out of it. I do think that it's possible that we could go on an immediate run right now to about a 50% move. But that's going to be the maximum at this point, just because this level at 1200 off of 8,000 is just that's significant right there. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. It's not financial advice. My name's Bleeves. I'm always right. And we'll talk to you again very, very soon.